Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bring a Trailer podcast. Alex here. On today's episode, I am joined by Zach and Beck to talk about cars from our youth, cars we miss, cars we'd like to re-experience. We also chat about some of our favorite listings that have been on the website recently. I also want to plug our upcoming event in Houston, Texas, in conjunction with Alara Garage. That event will be on March 21st. We hope everyone can make it out. Also want to tease our upcoming podcast on American Graffiti. That's part of our popular BAT at the Movies series. We really enjoyed it. It's just an amazing movie, a great classic. So give that a rewatch and then check out our upcoming episode on American Graffiti. Thanks as always to our producer, Chris Baxter, and hope you enjoy this episode.
The Bring a Trailer podcast.
Should we talk about cars?
I don't know if I have that much car stuff to talk about.
Okay, well,
running through my car Rolodex.
do you want to talk about S54 swaps? I thought that was an interesting topic.
Sore subject.
Okay.
Yeah, we can.
Well, I actually didn't know you wanted a six-cylinder swap that car. This is in the E30 M3.
Oh,
We can really.
Did you know that
wasn't
either?
The whole point that it had the 2.5.
I thought that was the point too, and it's so good. Because I'm not an S14 fan, but your motor is good.
So to recap, I have always wanted an S54 and an E30. Always. Over 10 years. That's like what I had my sights set on.
The maroon car from 2017, I still think about a lot. But
Good
that was
memory.
an S52, right?
With a bar sticker.
Yeah.
And that's lived in my head ever since, along with some other cars we listed in the early days. And I've also always wanted an E30 M3 ever since I was a little kid. My neighbor had one. I think I've talked all about that before. But I'll still say my neighbor had a red-black E30 M3, and his dad was like a BMW CCA instructor, and he had a black E46 M3 right when they came out, and it was the sickest pairing on the street, and I was so envious.
Was it like open the garage and those two cars are there?
The red M3, the E30 was street parked all the time. And then actually the black E46 was in the driveway too. So you drive by him every morning on the way to school. He debadged the BMW badges. In hindsight, this is horrible. And put AC Schnitzer badges over the BMW ones. But I thought it was so cool at the time. So anyway, I've been hunting for a while. After the green came and got crushed by a tree, and after I had my disheartening Spec Miata experience, I was like, maybe I'll just commute in an E30 M3. So set my sights there with the plan of getting one to swap. And I bought one with the 2.5, one, because I was like, maybe I might actually like it with the 2.5. I'll see what the best version of this engine is like. And also you have more S14 equity because you do the swap and you sell the S14.
Right.
So that's been in the back of my mind. I'm like, man, I do like the 2.5. We've had a couple cars come through from Castro Motorsports in SoCal. They're sort of the experts in the S54 swapping world. They at least have the most notoriety, and they have their own proprietary swap kits and airboxes and all this stuff that they use. So my car is cosmetically scruffy. A couple months ago, I was like, man, I would just feel better about this if the bumpers were a little more cleaned up and if I had some good Sport Evo bits. So I sent it down to Castro, just planning on painting the bumpers, the mirrors, doing a Sport Evo lip and spoiler, and some other small stuff. So obviously that's ballooned now and is like 3x, maybe even 4x what I really had planned to spend. And I still don't have a 6-cylinder into it. And my dilemma, which up until a couple weeks ago, the solution was I'm just going to make the S14 as good as I can and do a carbon air box and a standalone ECU and make that 2.5 just rip. I actually had the Evo flywheel just laying in my garage. I didn't even realize I had it. I almost like threw it away. I was like, just get this junk out of here. That's like, it's like $1,100 or whatever now. So I did the flywheel. We're going to optimize it. And then on Craigslist, this complete clone of my car popped up 2 weeks ago with an S54 and a carbon air box. So it's red, black, already done, has the Evo front lip and rear spoiler. I sourced a set of 16s and I painted the centers Nagaro like the Evo cars. It had those 16s with the Nagaro centers. It was just everything I wanted. I was like, man, maybe I should tear the seats out and do the Evo seats. It had the Evo seats. And
Was it done by the place that you have your car at?
It wasn't, which I'm
Okay.
telling myself, hopefully it was just like a horrendous pile of crap. I needed a bunch of work. 'Cause that's the last
Let's
thing
all
I
just
need in my
assume that.
Yeah. And he wanted, his ask was pretty reasonable, less than I have in my car with 2 more cylinders. So anyway, then I spiraled out of control. Took so long. Emailed the guy. I kind of was like, it would be so funny to buy this car
And have
take
both.
it back. And that part I found less humor in, but telling Julia, Julia would sit in it and just assume it was the same car.
She wouldn't tell the one from the other.
So I was kind of laughing about doing that. But anyway, that's how I got to where I am today. I think I'm just optimizing the S14 for a little while longer. And if I get tired of it, maybe I'll toss the 6-cylinder in it.
Obviously, your car you bought as a 2.5. Had you driven an E30 M3 with the regular 2.3 in it?
I haven't. I've only heard Alex's comments about being really underwhelmed.
Have you ever driven one?
I've ridden in one in anger during autocross, back when you used to just sort of like wait at the entrance. And like if anybody wanted to, you could just open their door and hop in and go for a ride. And was at BMW CCA at Alameda years ago. Rode shotgun in one. It felt great in that sense. I mean, it was, you're never breaking 45 miles an hour in that zone though. So I don't know what it would be like for the type of driving that we're doing on back roads.
They're fine. I hope Randy never listens to this. I had an opportunity to drive Randy's old car. Like is that lot number 1? Lot number 2? The 3. Okay.
It's one of them.
It's one of the first three. The white.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's a stock white. It's a very nice car. And I love them too. I think they're really cool looking. And Ryan Zaman, our colleague, shout out to Ryan if he listens to this, really wanted one. And so I was like, let me run you down the hill here at Laguna Seca. And it was me, him, and Roland in the car. And I was like, okay, I'm going to rev this out and give you the full power. Now, admittedly, 3 dudes and going up a hill, but he's like, that's it. I'm like, yeah, that's all it's got. They're fine. It's a great motor. I'm sure it's great in an autocross setting. Power standards on 4 cylinders were very different in the late 80s, but I just, like, I'd rather have an M20. I'd rather have a modified 6-cylinder in an E30.
The more you learn about the S14, you understand why it appeals to the stereotype of BMW owners. It's like a super mechanical, complex engine with a lot of like metal on metal and high vibrations that they made it all work. But do you know where the 14 comes from in that engine?
Oh, no.
No, I don't either. It's an S38 with 2 cylinders cut off, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you learn where the 14 comes from, it all makes sense because they had to build the motor for homologation reasons in 14 days.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, that's also...
But it's an M10 block, right? Just with a twin cam head?
Oh, I thought it was the whole block cut down from an S38. I mean, now I'm talking out of turn. I have no idea.
Well, so I had a 2002 TII with an M10 block, and very commonly people swap out bottom end internals. You can make a 2.2 stroker.
Oh.
And then additionally...
People put the S14 head on M10 blocks, don't they?
Not really worth it.
Okay.
Like you can, but it's much... I think there's a lot of modifications you have to do to make that work.
But you get
timing cover issues.
You get twin cam instead of single
Yeah,
cam.
but there's like timing cover issues and that sort of stuff too. More importantly, there's a lot of sort of accoutrement to the bottom end that you can put in if you want to stroke the M10 from 2 to 2.2. Or additionally, what I did and a lot of people do is the E30 M3 starter on an M10. It just helps it kick over faster. I don't know, little upgrades.
I mean, I presume an S14 is an aluminum block, right?
No,
you're both right. It's an M10 block with a shortened S38 head.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
interesting.
It's an iron block.
Okay. Even an S14 is an iron block still. Interesting. Okay.
Now Alex is going to be like, tear that thing out of there. What are you
Dude, I'm like losing. This is like blasphemy. I know. I'm like, now these even sunk lower in my estimation.
I know. Well, now this is great.
But I will say your 2.5 in that is great. I was going to ask something really blasphemous and like, I hate to be a Honda fanboy, but that's what I am. Has anybody ever put a 2.4 liter in one of those?
Yeah, they're common. Sure. They're cool. The problem is now that E30s are just so expensive that the crowd that wants to do a swap, like K-swaps have more of a lower dollar connotation to them.
You could do one in just a regular, like a 325 or a 318 or something, but you don't get all the flares and cool stuff.
But there's a couple out there, man. There's a K-swapped 997 GT3 out there on the forums.
What?
And it's making, I think, like over 400 horsepower.
With a turbo.
Probably.
Can't be NA, right? Or supercharged or something.
Okay, but back to me. The other mental math I've been going through to make myself feel better about all this money I've ignited and not buying that S54 swap car was the swap for the motor alone, before you do brake, suspension, all that, it's like 35 to 40 grand. And I was like, why don't I just buy a whole E46 M3?
Yeah. Like a beater.
SMG.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
SMG.
Right, a beater, and then I can send it to a shop and then pour another 30 grand into it and be in the same dilemma.
Yeah.
But
and then maybe sell me the shell and I'll put a K swap into the
Sick.
into the E46 shell.
sick. So anyway, that's where I'm a little like, maybe I'll just do that. But we'll see how it all goes.
Man, great stuff. Good problems to have.
You mentioned earlier your was it a childhood friend where the E30 M3 was parked on the street?
It was my neighbor.
Your
And we
neighbor.
went to the same high school. He was like a year or two older.
I remember seeing E30 M3s when they would still be parked on the street. That's like sort of a weird phase of when you as an enthusiast are seeing stuff that's being just sort of left on the street. And then
do you
all of a
remember
sudden
that
just
from a
disappear.
few weeks ago when I would drive mine around or went to the shop?
No, I mean like just loose out in the wild. Like
There was
seeing
one
someone-
by your Berkeley house. Wasn't there a crappy E30 M3 on your street by your?
Well,
by-
at first I was like, yeah, dude, that's mine. But
no.
there's,
By the place you and Julia lived when I first met you, that was like in the little corner of that cul-de-sac.
good memory close to campus. There's a white BMW M3, and the rumor is the woman that owns it bought it new, but she's at least had it for a couple decades, and it's white with red seats and a handicap placard.
And street parked, right?
And it looks like it hasn't been washed in 20 years. It moves occasionally. And then in the passenger seat, it's just a mound of crumpled up notes of people asking to buy it. One or two of which are definitely mine.
I got one of those on the Xterra recently.
Oh, you
oddly
were
enough.
you were driving the Terra today. Terra is here.
Yes. But it was one of those where someone's obviously they hand wrote it to look like it's really casual, but then it's also clearly been Xeroxed. Like someone's got a bunch of these and they've clipped them out and like taped them. Yeah, our old Toyota Corolla used to get them all the time when we would street park it. But yeah, the Xterra got one recently.
So I get those occasionally, which is a sign that I need to wash the car that it's on. I just got one the other week, and this made me laugh.
On the
and also
on the
hurt.
Integra.
Not on the Integra.
Uh-oh.
On the Supra. I know. And then
Somebody's like, this guy doesn't know what he has.
and
What a
then
clown.
I
Parked on
love,
the street.
I
It's
love
so
your
dirty.
perspective. That guy doesn't know what I have, and now I'm like defensive about it. The other hilarious one I got on was obviously Julia's beater Jetta with the smashed windshield, and ended up had the same note, like Xerox and everything, and then in front of it, the blue 72 911 was on the street overnight, and someone left one of those. I'm looking for my son's first car or whatever notes on that. So that also could be.
I didn't realize this was like a little cottage industry of people
Mhm.
trying to buy cars. I've never gotten one of those notes
What?
ever. Not one time.
I've
Ever,
got it
on
several
any cars.
times. It's sort of like fake handwritten, or it was handwritten, but then Xeroxed over and over and over again, and they've clipped them out, taped them to
Never
side view
happened.
mirror.
My dad used to get them on his terrible, super high mileage 2000 Civic Si. People would try to buy that. And he did finally sell it to one of those people for like $5,000 or $3,000 or something.
Exactly. That's what they're fishing for.
Yeah,
Sure.
totally. They got a 450,000 mile SI with its original clutch. So good luck to them. Actually, did I tell you this? Somebody found there's a guy doing a bare metal full stripped down restoration of my dad's old car.
No way. The
Yes,
Civic?
of the Civic, which you rode in one time
I did.
with its belt squealing and everything. Somebody bought it from the guy my dad sold it to, who worked at Cal Poly campus. This is how it got traced. One of my buddies, Stevie, who you've also met, knew the guy who worked at Cal Poly who bought the Civic from my dad, and then he sold it to somebody else. And as I recall, his Instagram handle is something like SI restoration or something, and he's got it in his driveway, like stripped down to the shell, and he's
Whoa.
restoring it. And he's saying things like, California car, you can tell this car was loved. I was like, yeah, it did live in California, and my dad did take pretty good care of it. But anyway, isn't that
Awesome.
fascinating?
Cool. I hope he does my Prelude next.
Do you know what became of that after Leah's kid had it?
He sold it, and then there was like a random Jalopnik article about it for sale
Whoa.
somewhere.
Really?
Like a way that was like, hey, check out this cool car in an uncommon color.
You knew it was yours because of the VIN?
VIN and color, and then like the small details of like, oh, I bumped the garage there. And then I don't even think I can bring myself to really read it because it still like hurts my soul a little bit. I'm
I saw
still
that car. You drove that car to the old office.
Yeah, sentimental about it.
Have you ever had the chance to buy a car you used to have?
No, we talked about this on the pod recently. And I mean, if we really want to go crazy and you want to know the opposite of Zach having these awesome cars, like I had a pain in my stomach this weekend because I wanted to buy a Taurus SHO so badly. And That is the kind of thing I'm trying to do. I'm trying to relive the cars of my youth that I didn't have, but that I would have liked to have had. So I've got this list, which I'm happy to read you guys.
Please, bust it out.
Okay, SHO Taurus, SVO Mustang. I have stories for all of these.
Slower.
Turbo Coupe, which I've talked about a lot on this pod.
Oh my God.
87 Turbo Coupe. Yep, loved that car. Would love to know if I would still love that car. There was a 4,500 mile maroon one on the site last week, but it was an automatic.
I remember you talking about
SVO Mustang, SHO Taurus, 318 Ti BMW, a car I desperately wanted as my first car. Also very hard to find. We haven't listed one in months.
You mean the E36 hatch?
The hatch, yeah, E36 hatch. What else is on the list? Corrado, which is like no longer, I kind of want it to be the, you can buy the best one in the world for under 20K thing, right? Like the Corrado has jumped this ship, but
Do you care which engine in the Corrado?
Yeah, I need a VR6.
Oh, okay.
The G-Charger 4-cylinder is not supposed to be great. But the SHO this weekend was a 89 first-year maroon with cloth seats, 19,000 miles in Colorado.
Wow.
I was like imagining driving it back and putting 10% of its total mileage it's ever had in like one weekend. You know, I've also graduated to fancier cars, Zach, and now I kind of want like the Civic. Or Civic would be another one.
Well,
like my dad's, although those are getting expensive too.
We're not done off the list, but I do have to say it is hilarious that you said the fun stops around 20 grand because the Taurus sold for 19,250.
I know. I'm aware of what it sold for. But also that's like the nicest 89 SHO like in the world, right? So Corrados are too expensive. Like a really nice Corrado is now 30, 40, even 50 grand. So for a VR6. So that's not going to happen. But anyway, to your question, Beck, I've wanted to relive the cars that I wish I could have had. But the Turbo Coupe would be a car that I actually owned. And then we talked about this with Randy, and he like wants specific VINs.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like he wants his car.
Yeah. For me, it was always longing for the better version of the car that I had. So like I had an Alfa Romeo Milano, but I had the silver, which was the 2.5 and, you know, kind of a little bit dumpier, but they made a Verde. There was a 3-liter and a limited slip diff. And those are the kind of things that I was like, when you go deep into researching the car, when you first get it in your teens or early 20s and you're reading all the marketing material, they're always talking about the one that you don't have because that's like the extreme version of it. I had an E30 325i.
What's the nicest, like the nicest Milano in the world? Is that like 10 grand?
It's a little better than that.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it's like 15 to 18.
That's also another thing that doesn't come up very often, right?
Or 164s, those come up a lot. Like that was sort of like the much prettier version, although it's front wheel drive. But they have that
beautiful engine in them
too.
Beautiful.
It's the same engine, just flipped laterally.
Well, Alex, to your question of the nicest Milano in the world would probably be the one we sold in December 2024 for $50,000.
Ooh. Okay, never mind.
Miles, but oh man, it is nice. It is nice.
We sold an 88 Milano Verde for 28 grand also in 2024. Man.
Okay, Beck, so could I cheer you up now by just slapping an AMG badge on the back of your Benz wagon while you're working away?
For sure. Well, you'd have to go to the shop right now to go put it on because it's getting quite a service happening right now.
So what's the Taurus SHO history, Alex?
I don't know why I'm so attracted to these late 80s Ford performance vehicles, but I really am. So the Turbo Coupe I inherited from my uncle, my dad's brother, R.I.P. John, my Uncle John, who also gave me the Carmen Ghia, my first car. My dad's little brother, they had many, many car dealings together. His family still has our C36, Zach. Our 95 C36 has like 300,000 miles on it, and they've rebuilt the motor.
That's a car I'm kind of nostalgic about.
Yeah, those
Focus on you now.
Those are cool. So he had the Turbo Coupe. He was a private investigator. He had like limo tin on the back. He was using it for private investigations. And somehow it ended up in our family and was given to me, and I daily drove it for like a year when I was in high school, and I freaking loved it and had a lot of great memories in that car. He later had a Taurus SHO, which I drove also in high school, and I just always liked them, and then driving one was really fun. It was a 5-speed, an early one, white, like a lot of the early ones are.
That Yamaha V8. I am laughing because I'm pouring over the gallery now. And you know the door code, which I'm also a little nostalgic.
My T-Bird had the door code, yeah.
Well, we just left the code in the listing gallery. So now if you see that Taurus on the street,
you can just take it.
You can bump start that thing.
Yeah.
Be off.
Because I don't think you could reprogram those, right? That was like set from the factory.
I can't remember.
We had a Ford Explorer in 97 that I believe.
Did you use it all the time?
Oh, all the time.
I used it all the time.
When you're the kid, you don't have a key to the car, but like I was often the one, I don't know about you guys, but was desperate to get in the driver's seat, even if there was an Explorer. And so my trick was I would always do the code, sit in there. I was allowed to start the engine like to
warm it up.
Just sit in there and start it up. Yeah, warm it up on those cold San Francisco mornings.
The climate control is so high tech on this.
I freaking love it, dude. The other thing I worry about is that all these cars will be a huge disappointment.
The Turbo Coupe Thunderbird is going to be a disappointment.
I mean, it was crappy in the late 90s. It was not a good car. But I also it could be a tremendous amount of fun. It might be, you know what I mean?
Both.
I think it would be both.
I think at 318, E36 would be a phenomenal swap for an S54. Having that body style and having the hatch on it would
cool.
be
Are they
incredible.
shorter wheelbase too?
They have E30 rear suspension, as I recall. I don't know if the wheelbase is shorter, but they had to change the back half of the car to make it work. Our colleague Steve Richards had a S52 swapped, one with all the M3,
Awesome.
stuff on it. Basically made an M3 Ti.
You ever seen the front end of the E46 Ti that never came to the US? It's in the Europe only. Oh,
have
my
we ever
gosh,
even
it's
listed one of those?
ugly as hell.
Oh, you know what? I have. They have quad headlights.
Correct. Enclosed headlights instead
It's
of
a
the
hatch
BMW.
E46.
Correct,
I
yes.
didn't know that. I didn't know they made that. Let me see.
It looks like it's asking to be put down.
Oof.
It's not good.
And they're probably little 316 eyes, that kind of thing. Another car that I just was, again, this weekend thinking about, this is maybe even too weird for me to want, but the CLK hatchbacks, which I think came with a V6 and a 6-speed at one
I
point.
mean, it's not a CLK, just the C-Class hatchback.
Is that what it's called?
Early 2000.
It was sort of they were going
Yeah.
down market.
It
They were
had
trying,
the
Yes.
glass on the trunk portion of the
Yes,
hatch that you could
totally
kinda see
right.
through. I
Correct.
loved those
Yes,
too.
correct.
I'm still nostalgic about those.
Is it a C? It's not a CLK, it's a C-Class.
It's
It's a
a
two-door
C coupe.
hatchback C-Class.
And I think you could get in the supercharged 4 and the 6.
I think that's right. And I think there were manuals in them, which is fascinating.
Yeah.
We-
C240s.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah, compressors. I think there were C230
CL class.
CL. Okay.
But in the US, they just call them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you I rented a SLK? What was the supercharged SLK? Or 230, right?
The first gen.
Yeah. So in Europe in 2001, 2002, when I lived in France for a summer, my dad and I rented a CLK 180. So it was also supercharged 4-cylinder, but smaller than they sold here. And we put the top down and drove it to the eastern part of Germany. It's the only time I've ever driven on the Autobahn. And we went as fast as it would go. And it was like 240 kilometers an hour, which I think is like 130 or something like that.
That's pretty decent.
Yeah, we had the top down. What we were doing, that was the first of those little folding hardtop things.
I had a remote control car of that. You could actually, with the remote control, you could put the hard top up
The
and
top
down.
worked on it?
The top
That's
worked on it.
hilarious. It probably broke at the same rate as the actual car too.
Totally. Man, Zach, your shame always works on me. My desire for a shit box has gone down, but I really wanted one. But the nicest of the shit boxes,
It always bothered me that Ford didn't have as good consistency with the branding of their performance variants.
Yes.
Like SHO, SVT,
SVO was the
SVO.
original
Yeah,
one,
all these different ones. It just seems like there's no connective tissue through the generations.
Well, it's been,
that would
once
be
they got to
really nice
SVT,
have.
is there still an SVT or is it all Shelby's now? What is it?
Now it's
The
they did
ST,
RS for a little while.
yeah.
And then, they have
ST.
ST also. And now I think there was a Shelby naming rights dispute.
Yeah, but the pickups, they've been having Shelby 150s.
Oh, and then if you get a hot truck, it's a Raptor, right?
There's that too.
And then if you get, but it's not an SVT
That's why they
Raptor.
went to Dark Horse, I think, right?
Oh,
Because
well,
you
that's
can't use the Shelby name anymore.
Can you not buy a Shelby Mustang anymore? But there's no SVT Mustang anymore, right?
correct.
Yeah,
There's
okay.
no Cobra Mustang.
SVT was pretty sick.
That was pretty good. Special vehicles team.
Yeah.
I don't know. When that version of the Cobra, I guess it's the Terminator chassis, came out, I was probably in the prime target to start paying attention. I kind of liked that there was an SVT Contour and an
Yes.
SVT Mustang and SVT Lightning and a Focus. It felt like there was this, it was an M brand, right? It
Mhm.
felt like it was,
That's what they're going
you
for.
could associate with all these things, and they just dropped it. And
I
that
know.
seemed
I
always
can't
at a
believe
loss.
Toyota didn't have the foresight. Toyota Racing Development.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's tough. It's really tough. That's another, okay, I'm adding this to the Alex Shitbox list. The last Celica they sold here, the little angular one, I've always really liked those.
With the fake hood scoop?
Do they have a fake
And the
head scoop? I
hatch?
can't remember, but they're pointy and they're kind of little.
Yes.
And you could get them with the 180 horse high revving motor and a
I'm
6-speed.
so nostalgic about those. Every one that we list goes on my watch list.
What's the chassis code on those? Well, I don't know what they're called. I really like those though.
I do too. I mean, you're used to it because you drive a 308, but the A-pillars are like your 308, and it is kind of a rebodied
Oh,
car.
I've never driven one. Have you been in one?
Oh, all the time. That
Okay.
was such a high school car growing up.
Did people have the 6-speeds with the 180 horse motor?
The only friend I had that had the GTS, it was an automatic.
GTS. Okay. I bet those felt pretty quick back then.
Oh, they were sick. It was always me trying to hunt those down on the Prelude to see which was faster.
Oh, totally.
That's the
But-
T230.
Oh, look at
we
that.
sold that with
Is that the action pack?
the turd package and 30 grand low mileage. This was an automatic.
Oh, interesting. No, you got to have the 6-speed.
Oh, for sure.
But I think you could get TRD engine performance parts for those. Maybe even, wasn't there a TRD supercharger for those? Maybe, maybe
There
not.
might have been. Okay, now we're really now we're turning onto my list, but those were Long Beach Grand Prix cars?
I'm not
support
sure
series
I
or
knew
what?
that.
Like the celebrity pro
Oh, yeah, sure.
cars.
Yes.
I didn't know that. They used Scions around that same time when those were out at one point, whatever the little.
The Scion was the successor to these,
Okay.
and I would love to get next Long Beach Grand Prix Celica.
Man,
I think
that would be
so
cool. Man, that would be really cool. I saw just recently somebody fed me on Instagram a big list of celebrities from the celebrity thing and some really great names going all the way back to Jason Bateman when he was like a kid.
Yep, he was in it.
Yeah, I've heard him talk about that on his podcast before, but some other really great. Stephen Baldwin with like long blonde hair, must be like Biodome era. Stephen Baldwin, some great stuff. Alfonso Ribeiro, some really good ones.
Okay, I'll pull up the list of attendees. But
Do you have
in
some
the
faves?
meantime, Beck, I want to hear what's on your list.
Yeah. Other than Milano, which apparently like Corrado has disappeared
For
from-
sure. I mean, there's driver ones out there.
But wouldn't you want the nicest one? Because you said that you'd want to experience like what you couldn't have.
I mean, quality of the car is probably second to the variant of it. Like you'd want the one that branding wise was the one that you just couldn't have for whatever reason. Definitely that's a model page that I follow, and I just always want to see what a Verde might bring to the table. Been recently looking more and more into the transaxle Porsches as something that would be in that same vein of like under 20K is a hard space to find, especially if you're trying to look toward your youth, because a lot of people in our age right now are buying stuff from their youth and it's shooting up all these prices. So yeah, specifically 944s would love a twin cam of some sort.
Oh yeah, you were talking about 944 S's, which is
S's,
interesting.
yes.
The one that is on my list that you can again have the best one in the world for under 20K is the 924S,
Sure.
which is 944 mechanicals,
Right.
but in the
924
dumpy
body.
924 body, late
Mhm.
80s. I like those a lot.
Honestly, it just got sparked in me. You ever have it where like you're just driving around in a car that you've not even thought about for a long time, just like passes you casually and just is like the right stance and the right condition. You're
And
like,
then you can't
holy
think
crap.
about it for like 8
That's
months until you buy
yes.
one.
It's been the last 2 months for me. I was on my way to O'Reilly's and in the parking lot, pulled right in front of me, parked right down, was like a dark blue 944, just a base 944. Big old front bumper, the whole thing. And it was so wide and was so low.
They're great looking.
And I was like, holy cow,
You've
what
never
am I
driven one?
doing? Never driven
They're
one.
so fun to drive.
Yeah.
Have you driven one, Zach? Any of the transaxle cars?
Yeah, that was another car I begged to get in high school that my parents wouldn't let me get. But my good friend that I grew up with, he had a 944 S2, and he was
Ooh.
a super handy wrench. And his dad was also into Porsches, and they had a lift, and they had kind of their own side hustle. So they actually swapped a 968 3-liter into it
Whoa.
at one point,
Okay.
and he still has it. I ran into him in Monterey. We were talking all about it, but that car is pretty modified, sweet. And then while he had it, he separately just bought a 944 turbo. So he had both of those next to each other for a while.
944 turbos are really fun too, but that's another car that like nice ones are really
That one's a
expensive
tough
now.
one. That was
They're also complicated and they'd be tough to work on, but you sit deeper in them. I mean, they have some Porsche characteristics to them, but they don't feel at all like a rear engine car. And you sit deep in them and the sill is high in the middle and the shifter's real rubbery. I drove lots of them. They're really fun to
and
drive.
the cluster, like the instrument cluster, just the view from the driver looks totally different.
Totally different.
And so I wonder if it would feel different enough from my 911, which is obviously a completely different generational car, but still.
It
would
feels
feel-
a lot more modern. It feels
Sure.
much more like an 80s car, like a Japanese 80s car or something like that. But also the first time I ever got into a perfect neutral 4-wheel slide was in a 944. And so that's like imprinted into my brain that a car doesn't like want to loop around or kill you when it breaks loose. I was like, oh, this is what people are talking about.
I slid the SC once at an autocross event and it worked beautifully. And I was able to transition to the next quarter. And then I had like 5 more laps and it never worked again.
That's right.
It was awful.
It's right. They're hard to drive well.
You probably just blew your diff out on that one slide.
Zach, what else is on your, well, you've achieved some of these E30 M3, not that those are shit boxes. You have your Type R, which I love.
Yeah, I bought that RSX for like a minute.
Oh,
Remember
that's
when I had
right.
that?
It was
Yeah,
at
why
the
did
office.
you drop that? You had a black one, right?
Black Type S, black. They're a facelift.
Really nice. It was a really nice car.
It was
as
a
I
nice
recall.
car.
Why did you move on from that?
I just never used it when I had it. That's the problem. I get so hyped up about, oh, I've always wanted one of these or I want to drive it. And then I get it and I'm so spoiled. It'll be like the only set of keys I never touch or something. So that's part of the problem. I still have a running list of all the stuff.
Good.
Bring it up.
Good. Do you have any others back from youth or that you want to read? The other one for me is a GLI Mark II Jetta, which I had very briefly. I had my aunt's GLI Jetta, and I actually prefer them to Randy's 16-valve GTI, which is what everyone wants, but I actually want the Jetta version because of nostalgia.
No, it was pretty much just the various 80s BMWs would be a big one. I had an E30
various
as well.
spec.
Yes. I mean, definitely E30 M3 would be an interesting opportunity to try and tap into that I missed out on, but it sounds like it's something I should avoid.
E28 M5?
E28 M5. I never got to drive Randy's. I would have liked to just sort of
try the 535?
Yeah. Well, that's right. It wasn't an M5.
Yeah.
But.
Well, Mike Barron. Next time we're down there.
That's interesting.
Got to talk to him. All right, Zach, what's on the list?
Well, this is actually funny that I just put this on there because I've been thinking about, even though I don't want to, I'd never use it. It's still fun to think of a car that suits the task for a New York car.
Oh.
And we had an R53 Mini growing up.
Oh.
And you can get those pretty cheap. And it's just so delightful as a city car and quirky. That interior is so unique. The supercharged motor sounds cool. So yeah, I've been kind of on one of those. E46 M3s are big. I've been down that rabbit hole. I went deep on the Cosworth Mercedes. And a really good 2.5 16-valve came in. I would have a hard time not jumping on
those. Are awesome. You were talking about your autocross experience in an E30 M3. I went to an autocross one time in the 912. I think it was a PCA autocross at the Paso Robles Airport. So it was mainly Porsches, and there was like a couple guys with those 914s where they chopped the roll bar and the thing, and those were so fast. But of the street cars that people drove in with just amateurs like me driving them, the fast car of the day was a 2.3 16-valve, like really ratty with a young guy in it. And he almost always had 4 people with helmets on in it. And it was all stock because I remember it leaning like crazy, and it was so much faster than anybody else could be. And I was like not terrible in the 912, but it was really fast.
What a psycho. Because I mean, the US 2.3s are kind of underpowered.
But like the E30, if you just keep it at 6,500 RPM the whole time, first and second gear at the top, I don't know. It was fun to watch.
No, he's got talent.
Yeah.
The E30 has like 30 more horsepower and I think 300 pounds less of weight too.
Yeah, this dude had all his buddies in there too, which was another thing that was fun about it. Those are cool, Zach. Did you see? We had a pretty nice one today that didn't sell. That was really.
It was a 2.3.
Oh, you have to have 2.5.
Committed to needing a 2.5.
Yeah.
That was the rule for number of passengers in the car was the number of doors that you have at autocross, which was, you would kind of hope that someone thought your car was cool enough that they would like, hey, can I come in for a ride? Never happened to me. But there was one time at a PCA event, there was 2 Cayenne turbos that showed up.
Wow.
And like people wanted to go for like a backseat ride in that. And they came out giggling and laughing at the end of the lap because it was just insane what that thing could do.
I did the thing in Vegas that Zach turned me on to where you drive like
Speed
Ferraris.
Vegas.
Yes. They give you a
So
one.
you got to be more specific of the things in Vegas.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. The supercar driving experience in Vegas. No, we won't talk about the other things we do there. They give you a lap around the track first and it's in a Cayenne turbo. And the instructors are obviously like super fast because, they're there all the time. And I was like, very impressive. I thought it was rad to ride around the track in one of those and hilarious.
Cayenne GTS 6-speed.
Oh, yes.
Kind of like to own one of those someday.
You were talking about
the V6 6-speed is also cool.
Yeah. Which was like little dinky wheels and stuff.
Yeah. Ton of ground clearance, nice sidewall, good in the city.
Awesome.
I've got the list of celebrity winners. The best pairing on here of a race winner.
What year's the first year? How far back does it go? Is it like
77?
Wow.
So it goes back really far. It doesn't say I guess it was a Celica then.
And pairing meaning you did half the race with one driver, half with another?
Oh, I think they're all on track with actual pros and
I think it's a mix. Yes.
So
I think there's a mix of pros and celebrities.
Right.
They
So
haven't
2 classes.
distinguished between pro winner and celebrity winner. But in 1980, Parnelli Jones was the pro winner and Gene Hackman was the that's a pretty strong one.
Gene Hackman was, as we found out after his unfortunate passing, was a car guy and had like a 964 and some other interesting things sitting in his garage.
I didn't realize what was in his.
Yeah. Do you remember what else he had? He had some kind of interesting modified cars. I think he had a Corvair with a V8 in it. He had some interesting cars. There's a picture of him, Zach, in that Instagram feed. And he pretty stern guy. He looks so happy when he's getting out with his Toyota racing suit. They have cool racing suits too, that series.
Okay, 87 was Jason Bateman, and this is a sad statistic, but Juan Manuel Fangio II was the pro driver.
No
which is,
kidding.
unfortunately, like one of the more notable race wins of his career.
Wow.
He's the
Fascinating.
nephew of Fangio.
Wow.
That's a hard family tree to be a part of, I think.
It really shows you that even if you're not the top tier of pro racer, you're still so much better than everybody
Oh yeah,
else.
I mean he had some great seasons in IMSA, 2 back-to-back wins.
I didn't know there was another Fangio. I didn't know there was a Fangio too.
Did I miss this? That Gene Hackman drove in the 83 24 Hours of Daytona?
No, I didn't know that.
Drove up Toyota Celica for Dan Gurney's All-American Racers team in the GTU class. Retired early to a gearbox failure.
I'm again speaking out of turn, but I think some of the people who race the Long Beach Grand Prix celebrity race that Toyota does get bitten by the bug. If I recall correctly, Jason Bateman got pitched into racing the pickup truck series. What was that? Was it an SCCA series? No, but they were road racing trucks. We've listed one before. They had like the little Jeep. They were like little mini trucks, but racing on road courses. And he raced professionally in that and like got hurt very badly. Here, I'll see if I can pull it up. Zach, hit us with some other winners.
On which side?
Give me the celebrities. I want the pros are fine, but I want the celebs.
I know. Only one former podcast guest on here, sadly.
Who's that?
Celebrity and a racer, Tommy Kendall.
Oh, Kendall. TK. We love TK.
97. Great guy.
Great guy.
He is someone who bought his car back on the site.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
He did.
His GTU class Pontiac. Or was it a Beretta? I think it was his Beretta.
He bought the Beretta back. Did you listen to that episode? He also has his like OG IMSA RX-7 still.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I can't remember the total story, but he has like one of his early cars. He's the best. Did you meet him down in LA? Zach? TK is awesome.
I met him at the bridge.
Oh, okay. Great.
Yeah, what a good guy.
Great guy.
What a good person.
We love him. Just a nice guy.
I'm a nobody to him, but if you're talking to him, he gives you his full undivided
100%.
attention, no matter who you are. Just a good dude. So Alfonso Ribeiro won on the celebrity side in 94, 95, and 2016.
Whoa.
It's like not even fair how well he knows the track at this point, I guess.
He must be like a car guy, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
In the late 1980s, Jason Bateman competed in the dangerous Coors Race Truck Series, an SCCA series featuring modified small pickup trucks. It's like road racing mini trucks. It's a really interesting thing.
Yeah, Keanu.
Oh, good.
Adam Carolla. That's kind of blurring some lines there.
Totally.
Well, what's been going on the site for you guys?
What's been going on the site? We had another SHO live with that one, 92, also low mileage, also the kind of .2 version with cleaned up end caps and stuff. Also a 5-speed. Those are rare. The Conan O'Brien spec. Have you seen his car?
No.
He had a green early 90s SHO. I think they're 3.2 liter instead of 3 liter, and most of them are automatics, and they have the 5-spoke wheels. It's like the update of the SHO. And Conan, somebody sent me this video recently. He's had one since new, a green one with a 5-speed.
Still has it, yes.
And he still has it. And he makes jokes about how he bought a Taurus. I'm like, yeah, but it's an SHO. That was actually like a pretty rad car. I think the sticker on our red 92 that we had on the site also sold for around 19 grand, Zach. It was like a $28,000 window sticker in 92. So it was like not a cheap car, rad car.
Nice. Did you catch the M1 original owner that we sold?
The kind of pearl white one.
Repainted in pearl white, which I was drooling over.
I actually think the color looks awesome on that.
It's so good. I mean, just look at the way the light hits this thing with the wheels.
It looks so sick with those wheels.
That's what we call a good color change. Not that the white was bad, but man, that car looks sweet.
The 89 C4 SCCA Challenge Cars Act that we were all talking about splitting. Yeah, like going 4 ways on that actually sold for 55 grand. So that did quite well.
Shout out to a collection that's live on the site this week. The Gilmore Car Museum.
Heck yes.
Is listing 5 cars with BAT. They plan on doing more as well. They're not closing. Don't worry. They've got some goals and sort of, I think, realignment that they want to do. They've got a few cars that they're looking to find new, Alex's favorite word, custodians of. So they're doing 1 a week this week, all closing next week from the Gilmore Car Museum. Feel free to subscribe to their user page because their plan is to keep this going over time.
It's in the collection?
Right now, there's a checker that was, I believe, from the original owner, then donated to the museum. 1961 checker station wagon. But there's going to be a few more mid-century American, some even earlier stuff as well. There's a 1930 Hudson Model T, and then a 57 Pontiac Chieftain, as well as a 66 Lincoln Continental convertible.
Everyone swears by the Gilmore. I've got to get out there at some point. Everyone says it's like one of the best places, but I've never been. Would love to. You helped put that together, didn't you, Beck?
Yeah, that came in the door, sort of our new venture of trying to help with collections that don't necessarily need white glove, but just need some sort of logistical support. And the client services department was helping them move those through.
Love it. Love to support them. Not to brag, but we make no money on those. We're going to donate all of our fees to the Gilmore. Keep it going. We stand behind places we believe in.
On my watch list also, did anyone see the 93 Geo Tracker with a track system on it?
Wow, that guy should have listed that thing 2 months ago when the blizzard hit.
Totally.
This is amazing.
Manhattan in that thing. It's got tank treads all around.
Tank treads, Geo Tracker, 4x4 as well, which I guess were all Geo Trackers 4x4?
Yes.
Superb. 5-speed.
Good color combo
Great
too.
colors.
Pink and blue. Blue and pink.
With a barbecue hanging off the back.
Hmm.
And it comes with wheels, though, if you want regular wheels.
Oh, it's like you can just put those things onto the axle
bolt on.
shafts.
Mhm.
Okay. Wow. No, missed that entirely. I'm too busy looking at Tauruses. Zach, did you see the R-Code Galaxy in blue, or did either of you in Guardsman blue?
No.
R-Code Galaxies are on the very short list for me, but they're almost always white. And this one's in blue, 4-speed, big 427.
Yeah, we had that green one a little while ago.
Yes, that was also excellent. I would really, really like one of those. Not that I need another one, Zach, but
Have that pulled up to
GTV.
ask you about that too.
It's really good. Blue, red color combo. And GTBs are even rarer in 328s than they are in 308s.
It's pretty sweet. I could see you in that, Alex.
Yeah, I was similar to your M3 thing. I'm like, how long would my marriage survive if I bought another Ferrari coupe mid-engine V8, just had two, like just alternate between the 308 and the 328, both fixed roof?
Yeah, just when one's in the shop, you drive the other,
Totally.
and then you just keep driving them back and forth.
You just trade it. You don't even need to take an Uber because you just take one to the shop when you're going to pick up the other one.
It's free parking.
It is. It is. This one has red interior, though. I mean, come on.
Wow.
That is pretty amazing.
Did you guys catch the Venom F5 bidding at
I saw-
2.1 million?
That's the neon green thing. Can you explain that to me? Is that the replacement for the little Lotus car that was so fast? Wasn't that also a Hennessy?
Yeah, exactly. It's
Okay.
like Hennessy. You could call it a Halo car, even though they're not a production manufacturer.
He's just
but it's
going
their
for
own.
the fastest thing on the road, right?
Yeah, really leaning into his brand there.
Yeah, totally. Did I read like 1,700 horsepower or something? And it looks like it's the size and weight of an Elise.
You undershot
18.
that. 1,800 horsepower.
1,817 horsepower.
Jeez. So that's like a 300 mile an hour car, 280, something like that, probably with an open roof.
That's tough, though. Once you get like, I forget the actual equation, but your drag goes up massively
totally.
in relation to speed. And so the amount of power you need to go from 280 to 300 is
Yes.
In a-
Okay,
But
but I've been thinking about this a lot. What is the speed at which an aircraft starts to lift off the ground?
It all depends on the
Depends.
airplane, yeah.
But it's below 200.
Way below
Way
200.
less.
Even an airliner, it's less than that. But
Yeah.
like in a Cessna, you rotate it like 50 knots, which
Well,
is like 60 miles an hour.
So what is it in a Venom F5 that's got an airfoil?
Well, that's like who was the driver in the Mercedes LMP car that flew up?
Oh,
into
the CLK
trees?
GTR, Zach's dream car.
That's like, oh man.
Zach has a fear of flying, and then his favorite car is the CLK
But could you guys imagine if that happened today? Everyone would be like, that's AI, bro.
Totally. I'm trying to think of what else I've been watching that I really, really liked. Oh, Cosmo. There was a really good Cosmo that came across the site. That's like
it's sold strong too.
sold strong.
I watch every LM002 that hits the.
Oh yeah, what was
Yes,
that was like
the
a
American. that we
Yeah,
have
tell
on.
me what that is. I don't know what that is. I saw those words and I didn't know what it meant.
I mean, it's just the American variant for the American market, is it not?
I have no idea.
I believe so.
I presumed that's what
it's
it
called
was.
the model name for it.
Clearly, I asked the wrong people.
Yes.
I like those a lot. Are they all 5 speeds or do they come in an automatic?
Ooh, I would venture to guess all 5 speeds, but
Yeah, I think
someone
you're
can
right.
Fact check me.
We
on
don't put 5-speed in the title,
Which
so
means
I'm
they were
just
probably
normally
all 5
that.
speeds.
I bet the Sultan of Brunei has like the one automatic
Totally.
one that they made.
I noticed that the shifter is like buried in the console, so your hands would be like in between two big pieces of upholstery when you're shifting.
Okay, I will go on record and say I don't know what American actually gets you, but I do feel like the LM002 is one of the things where like everyone from the factory may have been slightly different.
Oh, I'm sure it's one of those type of cars. What are there, like 200 of them? Something like that?
301, 60 of which were built to American specification.
Gotcha. So very, very few.
Maybe it's just emissions.
They're what, like early 90s? What years are they?
Yeah, this one is a 90.
Yeah, okay. I remember seeing one, it's a very early memory of mine, so it was probably right around then, at the Santa Barbara Concours d'Elegance that my dad took me to, which is on the Polo Grounds in Montecito. And I remember there were two. There was a white one and a red one. And I remember my dad being like deeply offended that existed. And he still holds the same, like, and you know, I was influenced by him for a long time and thought they were kind of grotesque. Now I totally dig them, but he's still absolutely appalled that exists.
It's on the Powerball list for me for sure.
Awesome.
Oh, good MFI Carrera.
Oh, the orange one?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
In Marin County.
Did you see the racing history on that car? It, like raced in the 80s and stuff?
Did, and then they tore it all apart and pinned it up really nice.
Yes.
But super interesting.
Do you see the cloth seats in it too? It's non-sport seats, but there's like a weird cloth upholstery on it. It's pretty rad. And I think it's the way it was originally spec'd. It's like a dark blue, all
from
cloth.
a distance, I just scrolled past, not their leather.
Isn't that awesome? I would love to have that car. It's non-matching, so you don't have to worry. You can actually just drive it around and use it. The restoration looks like it was done really nicely.
I like that car a lot. Those are kind of on my list.
Yeah. Beck, you're the whale tail expert. In 74, could you get it with the flat? Are they all ducktails?
No, it's ducktail. It's the same as 73.
Yeah. And then
75.
75, and that's where the term Carrera tail comes from.
Yeah, okay. That's what I would like. I would like the 75 RS with a MFI motor in it.
So I always referred to the Carrera tails as the 3.2 tail. That was the flat one to differentiate it from the T-tray that was the turbo, because that was the only time there was two different spoilers that were available.
Yeah, I have a hard time knowing the difference between all of them, but this has...
So there's ducktail, then whale tail.
Right, but the whale tail with the lip only at the back is my favorite. But some of them are flat, and some of them have the dip in the middle of them. They're not all exactly the same.
So I'm sure some Porsche people out there with more knowledge than me will fact check me on this, but I'm pretty sure that 75 was the debut for this spoiler that you're describing.
I would call that a whale tail, personally.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yes. Meaning because it goes down.
I don't know if you guys know this. We actually have a piece of content on this for our website, and I can't find it right now. But we actually wrote a non-auction piece about this and walked through all of them.
How wrong I was?
Carrera tail, whale tail. I can't remember. Ducktail. And then there's the IMSA tails, which don't have any rubber on them, but look like a Carrera tail or the original whale tail, but not the T-tray, which honestly I don't love, which has the lip that goes all the way around it. We've also listed a freaking ton of the wings on the back. There's a 56 Bel Air with a dual quad on it that I really like. Did you process that one?
I did. Mark Shaliro. Yeah, he's maintaining a great pipeline through White Glove. I always appreciate an MS Classic Cars listing on the site.
Zach, I heard from our guy Bill Goldberg via Matt D'Andrea, shout out to both of them, that he was very happy with how everything went with his 964 turbo sale on BAT.
Oh, great. All right. He's definitely been in the, maybe not a winner on the podium, but I think he's participated in the Long Beach Grand Prix.
Oh, interesting. That would make sense. He would be on the celebrity side, but also a car guy. You said there's like a little bit of a blurring of the lines, right? Like if you're Jay Leno or you're Adam Carolla, are you on the celebrity side or are you on the, serious driver side?
Paul Newman can just take 2 trophies, I guess.
He takes both home.
Okay,
for sure.
I may be mistaken about this Carrera tail thing, and now I'm going to feel bad for the rest of the day.
That's okay.
I didn't know about all this till I worked at BAT, by the way. I just called every single one of these a whale tail, which is what I think a lot of people do.
So 73 is first year of Carrera, but that's a ducktail, so it'd be a little bit incongruous to call the later ones a Carrera tail, right? But so 74 still gets ducktails.
Well, that's the first impact bumper, but Carrera is 72.
Correct.
Or even 356. Yeah.
There you go. And then it's really when the 3.2 Carrera gets its own dedicated spoiler, because if you ordered a spoiler on an SC, you just got what was like the turbo spoiler at the time. And then for the 3.2 Carrera, they specifically made their own optional spoiler that's what would come. So that's why it looks different than the...
the whole reason they switched to it in one with the flat grill on top is because the intercooler's under there, right? Because the original ones on the turbo Carreras, there's a dip
76,
inside
77 don't have an intercooler, 75 for Euro cars.
But the grill's not flat on top. Correct. It like dips down in.
That's why it's called a whale tail. It looks like the tail going down on a whale and then it shoots back up.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. See, Zach, you're here to be schooled.
I do see. Yeah, school me. Well, I mean, obviously the right way to spec all these cars is no spoilers.
I know, but I somewhat influenced by you. The mid-year Carreras with the actual whale tail spoiler on them, I actually really like.
74 with the ducktail is perfection.
Oh, that's it. Impact bumpers, but still a ducktail.
But guys that buy them and then put a ducktail on it, it's a little.
Yeah,
I frown.
That's
upon
tougher. That's tougher.
That trying too hard thing, you know.
It is. Unfortunately, I'm living in that world a little bit, Zach. I care deeply about what others think. It's really a handicap.
We had a rare Carrera variant. We had a 77 3-liter Carrera Coupe on the site.
Oh,
rest of world.
ROWs.
Predecessor to the SC, but a better one.
The neighbor up my street who says that he knows your dad has a red Targa 3-liter rest of world car.
Sick, very
cool. Sorry, the ice cream metallic one.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that miss, and I've always wanted to own that color.
It's a great color. We had a Turbo Carreras, and this is sort of like it was a weird offering for that color for in that era. It comes up pretty often though.
We had
I missed this car.
Carrera in ice cream metallic that Matt Crandall sold maybe in like 18 or 19 that I'd love to see come back up for sale.
Dude, this car is really good. It has chrome around the windows, still chrome trim.
Yep. So it's got a little bit more of a vintage vibe in that sense because chrome, I don't think becomes the default until 80. It was a blacked out trim becomes default in 80 and chrome becomes the option, whereas pre-80 it's the opposite of that.
Man, I like this car a lot.
Yeah, ice cream metallic, little bumperettes, whale tail.
Yeah, the little rear bumperettes is big for me too.
Same.
So even though it's got a Carrera nameplate, it's not MFI, it's CIS injection, but it's a Euro spec, so it's pushing the 200 horsepower, which is probably what the much later SCs were actually doing even in the US once they got an O2 sensor. But yeah, this is a fantastic.
Cloth inserts on the seats. One thing, I don't love headlight washers. I don't really like the way those look, but I would live with it for this car. Ice cream metallic is such a good color.
Okay, also with headlight washers, lot number 37,652 was the car that Matt Crandall sold in October 2020.
Oh.
If that ever comes back, you're getting an email from me for sure.
Oh,
Are you
man.
pro side script on Carrera?
On 74, 75, 100%. I think if you have a 84 Carrera with a side script and a spoiler, you're the complete stereotype of what I don't like about those cars.
The second Carrera becomes just the name of the car and not the addition.
Man, this car is
thinking of
exceptional.
rolling this around in 1975, looking like that with the script, you would feel like the coolest guy.
I mean, this is amazingly cool. These 75s with the whale tail, I like them again when they have wild. I feel like we've had one that's green with orange script, or like, the colors got wild on this contrasting colors by the mid 70s, which I also really like. Man, this is very similar to the other car, Zach.
Yeah, I'd rather have the 2.7 than the 3-liter personally.
Really?
Yeah, for modification reasons. I'd love to not keep one stock.
Well, Zach has you've talked a lot about like buying one of these, a US car, and then building the MFI engine for it.
Yeah. Basically want the twin plug version of what my motor was in the blue car.
Totally. Man, awesome stuff. All right, boys. Thanks for doing this. We got a movie pod coming up pretty soon. We were supposed to do it today. I don't know if Cam listens to these, but Cam really let us down. So we didn't get to do that today, but that is coming up soon. Fun as always to hang out with you guys. Thanks to everyone for listening. As always, you can send feedback, questions, or concerns to podcast@bringatrailer.com, and we will catch you next time.